Hello, everyone. This is Iggy from Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. And I think this might be my last video because, like I had mentioned in an earlier segment, that most of my things, well, if not all of it, is in storage. But today I'm going to bring you something a little different. It's not so much a toy as a sculpture that was going to be a toy and never made it, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. So here we go. What I want to show you is this over here. Now, you might have caught a glimpse of some of this in earlier videos, but not what I really wanted to show you, and that is this figure right here. And this is a German Stormtrooper, Sturmtruppen, circa 1916. And this was hand sculpted by my brother, Ron. And the hand looks a little funny on this one because when it was in transit, when I was moving, it had snapped off, and also the figure had broken at the ankles, and I had to glue it back together. And I lack the finesse of my brother when it comes to fine detail like this, so it's kind of sort of stuck on there weirdly. But let me turn the figure around so you can get some of the detail. It's really amazing. My brother did an awesome job. Now, the purpose of this figure that he sculpted is we were going to make a mold and cast, I don't know why we thought we could do this, but we thought we could cast bits of lead that you use for leaded windows, and because you can basically melt it down in a pot over the stove, and we were going to make a mold and then try and sell these figures. Well, we didn't get very far with that idea because every time we poured the lead into the mold would get soft and the detail would be lost. So it was we didn't understand that you have to have a mold made out of chromium or whatever it is they make them out of. Anyway, lesson learned, I guess. So let me turn this so that you can get some really good close-up view of this soldier that my brother sculpted. This is actually made out of plaster. And the rifle is made out of a piece of wood that he sculpted. And you can see he has all the equipment here. He's got the canteen, bread bag. He's got the shovel. Stormtroopers carried a shovel, a long shovel. All soldiers had a entrenching tool, but stormtroopers would carry a regular-sized shovel with them so they could dig a trench more rapidly than they could with an E-tool. I'm trying not to go too fast, but just get you an idea of what this is all about. And he's wearing 2 canvas sacks that are filled with grenades. In the original version of this, in this hand here, my finger's bigger than his hand there, he was holding a stick grenade, which when he got damaged, my brother replaced his hand. We're probably going to have to replace this hand over here too because it was damaged also. But there it is. Let's see if we can read what my brother wrote here. I can't make it out. My vision is very poor, but I think it relates to the battalion that this soldier belonged to during the war. Sturmabteilung Rohr, which was one of the first stormtrooper battalions to see action in the new form of combat. And here, this is a rather famous poster of for recruiting, and it says on here, "Hilft uns siegen, zeichnet Kriegsanleihe," and that I'm told means "help us win, buy war bonds." So, "Hilft uns siegen, zeichnet Kriegsanleihe." I don't speak German, so I apologize for the weird accent. But I always liked this. And I took a photocopy out of a book about World War One. I took it to Walmart to have it make into a poster, and everyone there, of course, acted really strangely when they saw what it was that I was doing, and they all kind of acted like, "Oh, this guy's a Nazi," or whatever. And I didn't have the time or desire to explain to them the difference between Imperial Germany and Nazi Germany, and I didn't think they would care or understand anyway. And down here, I showed this before, so I won't elaborate too much on the helmet. The gas mask I purchased from someone. Oh, it's kind of dark in here, isn't it? Where's my flashlight? I brought a flashlight over here. Anyway, that's a reproduction. Now, this should be either leather or rubberized fabric, and this one is just fabric. It's not rubberized, so it's not entirely accurate. Okay, there is another thing I wanted to show you before I ended the video. Well, there's the flashlight I was looking for. Doing a great job illuminating the chair here. Okay, let me have a seat. One of the things I find helpful about collecting toy soldiers and things is to have a lot of reference books that you can look at when you're setting up scenes or making model kits and things like that. And I also like to read a lot of fiction. I actually have read quite a bit of English literature, which is funny because in high school, I just could not stand what they told us to read. I just refused to do it. And for some reason, I like to read science fiction, and which I guess a lot of teenagers do. And I also like to read Sherlock Holmes, and I've read all of Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes stories. I think there's something like 5 novels and 75 short stories or something like that. Anyway, I've read all of those, and they're still some of my favorites. What I wanted to show you is this, my little black book. Someone at work asked me, well, how do you keep track of all the things that you have in storage? And this is how I keep track of my collections. Now, what this has is I write down all the things that I get, and I put the date that I purchased them. And this is one of my older ones. It started to get filled up, so I bought another one. Let's throw that over there. And it's a little bigger. This one has a Star Wars theme to it. I collect Star Wars also. Indiana Jones, Star Wars. I really like those things. Let's see. These are all DVDs that I was collecting. It looks like I sold most of them. So, this gives you an idea. Let's see. G.I. Joe. I was buying a lot of the G.I. Joes that they were producing in the 90s and 2000s. But I would also have hobby notes. Now, this is like, what was the last thing I purchased? It shows here the last thing I purchased was the Playmobil Castle, and I bought that on October 23rd, 2021. But I also would put hobby notes in here. It's all hobby notes and also things talking about what I would like to get, and what some of my plans are. Like, here's a wish list of things that I wanted. I think I got most of them on there. There's just a couple I didn't get. And that's how I keep track of all the things that I've got in storage, is by writing it down. And I like putting the dates of when I get them also. So there you have it. There's how I keep track of things in storage. There's one more thing I wanted to share with you before I stop for the night. And let me see if I can grab one here. It's these books here. I love these books. These are by Osprey, and I believe it's an English company. Men at Arms series, and I've got a ton of these things. I'm not sure how many books I have. Probably like 30 or 40. A lot of them are of British Empire subjects, Civil War and things like that. World War I books. Just a couple World War II, which is strange because I do like collecting World War II things also. Anyway, that's it for this time, and I guess the next time... Oh, wait, I wanted to tell you... Well, maybe I'll save the story for next time. I was going to tell you about what happened to me when I went to Toys R Us, and a woman went to management and complained that there was a guy, suspicious character, in the G.I. Joe section. And I had all these employees and the store manager come running over, and they kept asking me questions. What are you doing here? What do you want? And it made me feel really uncomfortable because of this woman not understanding that adult men could actually enjoy collecting G.I. Joe. To her, that was just unheard of. And so I was made to feel very uncomfortable. Everyone was staring at me like, what did this guy do? I've talked to other collectors, asked them if they had that happen, and my friend Doug said that's never happened to him. But you have to understand, Doug is like 6'4". He's very masculine looking, and I'm short and fat and sort of, I don't know, I guess I gave off a creepy vibe. Anyway, that's it for this time. I want to thank all of you for coming along with me on these videos and letting me share some of my things with you. And I really do appreciate each one of you watching my videos, and the few of you that have subscribed. I want to thank you for that also. It has not gone unnoticed, and I appreciate what you've done. That's it for this time, and maybe when I move and I can get a bigger place, I will start making some not movies, videos about my toy soldiers and model kits, my reenacting uniforms. I have a British 8th Army desert uniform. I used to have 3 Africa Corps uniforms, but I had to sell off 2 of them. But I still have one. And I have a World War I German and a World War I French uniform. And my intention is to put them on mannequins and have them on display. Have one figure in each corner, like have the German in one corner, the Frenchman in the other corner, and so on and so forth. For now, that's it for me. That's the end of the parade. Thank you, and good night.